We're going to be learning about how to say should and should not. In English, you should do something. You should go. We all know what that means and how it feels to hear the word should. But in Korean, they have no should. You can translate the expressions, you should do this, you should not. But in literal Korean, there is no such thing as a should or should not grammar construction. There's no simple form you can attach to make a translation. We have to do a different way of speaking in Korean to say you should do something or you shouldn't do something. The first form we're going to be using though, this is so useful that I think even though it's not normally taught at the beginner level, beginners should go ahead and learn this form. You simply take an action verb stem, so let's do 가다, to go, and you remove the 다 and you attach 는. Now there are some exceptions. If the verb stem ends in a lir, this letter here, you remove it. So instead of 놀는, you just get 노는. Then we're going to attach 것이. The act of doing this verb, 가는 것이, the act of going. Now you use a verb, 낫다. 낫다 literally means to be preferable. To be preferable, as in to be better. We literally get the meaning of the act of doing something would be preferable. 가는 것이 literally the act of going. 나요. 가는 것이 나요. If you're more advanced and you know 것이 becomes 개, go ahead and use that if you'd like. 가는 것이, the act of going, is preferable. There is no should. Instead, what you're literally saying is doing something would be preferable. So how would we use this form to say should not? Well, literally you want to say it's not preferable. In Korean, if you want to say you should not go, what they do is they make this verb, the action verb, negative. So in this case, you can just say 안 가는 것이 나요. 안 가는 것이 나요. Not going is preferable. 그 사람을 안 믿는 것이 나요. Literally this means it is preferable not trusting that person. 그 사람을 안 믿는 것이 나요. Though when you're doing a natural translation, you'll want to translate this as should not. The next form we're going to be learning is probably the most common form that you will see in a textbook. 면 좋다. Literally, if you do something, it's good. It would be good if you went. I think it would be good if you didn't go. I think it would be good if you ate that. So for those of you who kind of want an English approximation of this form, I think you would probably be fairly close. 집, house, 빨리, quickly, 청소하면, if clean house quickly, 좋아요. It's good if you clean quickly the house. It's good if you clean the house quickly. I think you should clean the house right away. 수업에 집중하면 좋아요. Literally, if you focus on class, it's good. You should focus on class. That's kind of just saying something's good. Just in general, it's good. I think it would be good if you were to focus on your class in that way. 면 안 좋다. So what do you think this form would mean? 안 좋다. Not good if. It's not good if you do something. So I think you should not. 밤에 라면을 먹으면 안 좋아요. 밤에, at nighttime, 라면, ramen, 먹으면, if you eat ramen at nighttime, it's not good. I think you should not eat ramen at nighttime, literally. I don't think you should eat ramen at nighttime. This form does not literally mean should or literally mean should not or anything like that. Just means it is not good. It's kind of like you're expressing your opinion. You're saying like, I don't think so, or I think. You got it? So, 면, if, will be good. It means more like would be good if. In Korean, though, this has a very useful meaning. To say hope or wish. Literally, it would be good. Let me give you an example of how this is used. 비가 오면 좋겠어요. It would be good if the rain came, literally. So this is how they would say, it would be good if the rain came. I wish it would rain. I hope it'll rain, like that. Or you can do it in past tense. 비가 왔으면, 왔다, literally past tense, the rain came. Both of them are perfectly acceptable. Neither is more common. If you use past tense, it's slightly more emphatic. It has a stronger hope or stronger wish. That's the only difference. 면 되다. 되다 literally means to be acceptable. Like that's okay. So literally, if you do something, it would be acceptable. So what's the difference between these two forms? If you say 좋아요, what you're simply saying is, if you go now, it's good. I think it would be good if you went. If you use 되다, however, if you go now, it will be acceptable. If you go now, it will be okay. This 돼요 has the feeling of or else, or there might be a problem, not a threat. This is not a threat. Just like, hey, I think you should go now. So this is suggesting that only by doing this will things be acceptable. Will everything be okay? But it's more of a feeling difference between these two forms. You'll hear people say this as a command, like, hey, oh, it's your turn. 지금 가면 돼요. You should go right now. If you don't go right now, you're gonna miss your turn. 좋아요. It's just, oh, if you go now, you should go now. Yeah, it would be good. It would be great to go now. This is just an expression. You can learn this exactly as it's written. 하면 된다. Now this 된다 is just the plain form. 하면 된다. Literally, it is acceptable if you do it. Well, this is the Korean military's motto. As in, you're military, you should do it. You should give it your all. 하면 된다. And the next form we're going to use is very similar to this. If you do it, it would not be acceptable. It's not okay. And this is, again, a very common way to give a command. If you want to tell someone, don't do something. 뛰면 안 돼요. 저기 뛰면 안 돼요. The lifeguard might shout out, 뛰면 안 돼요. Literally, if you run, it's not okay. It's not okay to run. But what they're saying is no running. 뛰면 안 돼요. 뛰면 안 됩니다. If you're speaking really polite. You can also see something like 그거 먹으면 안 돼. You shouldn't eat that. Literally, if you eat that, it's not okay. 그거 먹으면 안 돼. It's not acceptable if you eat that. So don't eat it. We did 1, 2, 3, 4 major forms, 6 if we include the on variations of that. Now, let's go on to some more intermediate concepts. So you take the action verb stem and you attach 지, then 그랬다. You'll have to conjugate this form. Let's just take 하다. 하다 becomes 하지 그랬어요. This is an informal way to say should have. It's not rude, but it's not polite. And the thing you have to know about this, though, is that this form can only be used with second person. You. So this is not to say I should have. You can only use this form to say you should have. You should have gone together to the party with us. You should have gone hiking with us. You should have told me earlier. You should have ordered more food. We ate it all already. So let's do an example. 같이 가지 그랬어. Now, 같이 literally means together, is also how Korean people just say with us or with me. You should have gone together with me, together with us. 같이 가지 그랬어. Why did you stay at home? 왜 집에만 있었어? 왜 안 갔어? Why didn't you go? Why were you just only at home? 같이 가지 그랬어. You should have gone together. So you should have come. 더 일찍 말하지 그랬어. 더 일찍 말하지 그랬어. You should have said that earlier. You should have said that earlier. 더 일찍 말하지 그랬어. You should have told me sooner. You, not I should have said it. 거봐, 벌써 다 먹었잖아. Look, we already ate it all. 더 시키지 그랬어요. You should have ordered more. 더 시키지 그랬어요. So then you might be thinking, how can I say I? So you got the verb stem and you attach 을 if it ends in a consonant, or just a 릴 if it ends in a vowel. And then you attach 걸 그랬어. 하다 would become 할 걸 그랬어요 or 그랬어. This one is only for first person. By that I mean I. So this is if you want to say I. One thing you should note is I put parentheses around 그랬다. That's because 그랬다 is actually optional. You don't have to use this verb at all. You can end the sentence after 걸. 할 걸. I should have done it. 나도 갈 걸. I should have gone too. 나도 갈 걸 그랬어. Let's do an example. If you were to say don't do something, normally, you'd use the 지 말다 form. And we did this in a previous live stream. The base form of saying do not do something is 지 말다. And this conjugates as like 하지 마세요. 가지 마세요. This originally comes from 말다. So this is the same thing. 물어보지 말. The form you use for do not do something, like I wish I didn't do something, is 지 말. 물어보지 말걸. I should not have asked. I should not have asked. 물어보지 말걸. 물어보지 말지 그랬어. You should not have asked that because it has the 지. So pay attention to it, whether it has the 걸, I, or 지, you. 더 일찍 일어날 걸 그랬어요. I should have woken up earlier. 더 일찍 일어날 걸. 더 일찍 일어나지 그랬어. You should have woken up earlier. This 걸 form, I said, is only used with first person. You might sometimes see 걸 used with the second person too. If you're using this in the second person to say you, it is not optional. It's not so common that you'll see this 걸 form used with the second person. Sometimes, depending on how it's used, it can even sound a little bit awkward. Depending on the context, this can also mean you, but then it'll always be used with 그랬다. If you just see 걸 at the end, it means me. So we could have something like this. 나도 갈걸. 100% has to mean me. 나도 갈걸. I should have gone. But now let's do 너도 갈걸 그랬어. This is less common than saying 너도 가지 그랬어. But you might sometimes see 걸 used in context. It will always be clear if it's you, but I don't recommend using it. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.